What is going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video. I have an incredible story to tell you about a comic book collection that was found in the basement of a house that is about to be demolished. This collection was discovered by a contractor who was about to work on this home, and it's set to be torn down to the ground. And there was a basement full, like completely full, of comics and other collectibles too. This is an incredible story of how these books were found. Some of them were recovered and then they were put up for sale. Unfortunately, there's a little tragedy in this story as well. The collection was not all completely recovered. There's a lot of books still left in this house, and they might not ever make it out. They might be buried in the ground with the rest of this rubble. So let's get into the story. All right, so I'm going to begin this story with how I found out about this collection, and then I'll go into the details of the story and history, at least what I know, because there's not many details out there, and I'll explain that in a minute. So basically, it started off, I was on a Whatnot show, and this young man was selling books, and you could tell he didn't really know much about comics. He started a Whatnot channel basically to sell this comic book collection that he found. And he was explaining to the audience that he was a contractor and he's living in down in South Texas. And he was working on a home that was set to be demolished. They were going to tear this house down to the ground and, of course, probably rebuild a new home. So he was the contractor. He found this collection in the basement and he spoke to the owner. And the owner told him, for as much as I know, that he had a cousin that was a huge comic book collector and other collectibles and things like that. And he had this amazing, incredible collection in this home. So I'm not sure maybe if somebody passed away or, I'm not exactly sure all the details. This is just what I know, what I heard from the seller over on Whatnot. So he spoke to the owner of the home, and the owner said to the guy, the contractor, that he was welcome to take anything he wanted out of this house for free, which is just absolutely insane. But he said he only had 3 days to take all the stuff out of this house. And for what I know and what it seems, this is an insane, incredible, huge collection, like thousands and thousands and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of comics. It sounds like this was a really big haul. So the contractor was given 3 days, and also he was not allowed to use a U-Haul truck, and he was not allowed to bring any friends over to help him. Supposedly, the owner of this collection, or the owner of the home, really didn't want any attention. Not exactly sure why. It's very, very interesting, the details. The owner didn't want any attention brought to the house. And he didn't want anybody over there. He didn't want any big trucks coming through, which, I don't know, it just sounds really odd. But this is the details that the seller of this collection was telling us. So supposedly, this guy, the contractor, he went to the home those 3 different days, and he said he spent as much time as the owner of the home would allow him there, and he just pulled out as much as he could get and to fit in his own personal vehicle, and then, brought it home. And so he did that over the course of 3 days, picked up as much as he possibly could, and he said that he came across about 10,000 books. Or so. I mean, who knows? I'm not sure if he counted them all, but he said there was, about 10,000 books, and he basically started a Whatnot channel to sell these books. You could tell by his demeanor and the way he talked about things, and I actually ended up, he had a few few different Whatnot shows. I attended I think his second or third show. But I went back and read some of the reviews, and a lot of people were complaining about how he shipped the books, that he packages them very poorly. Also said that they were in really good condition when they were actually low grade. So there was some complaints about this collection, or about this seller. But you could tell he was a novice when it comes to comic books, really had no idea what he was getting himself into. He also mentioned that he reached out to like some comic book shops and some other people. He also mentioned that he was in touch with Heritage Auctions. And they lowballed him an offer. And he said that all these people that he contacted, offered him, money for this collection and offered him help and, things like that, different avenues of selling. And he said he declined all the offers and wanted just to do it himself. So that leads us to the Whatnot show. So I'm at this Whatnot show. It was about 10 p.m., Eastern time. He's down in Texas, so he's 2 hours behind me, I believe. So I'm watching the show because he labeled it a horror show. And I believe he had an X-Men or a Spider-Man show. He had another show after this particular show that I went and bought books. I'll show you at the end of the video. I did purchase a decent haul from this collection, which I'm excited about. So he had these Whatnot shows, and in the show that I was attending, a lot of people in the chat were giving him great advice. They were telling him, don't let people lowball you, and do your research. You really need to research before you start selling some of these bigger books, because he was pulling out huge keys, like incredible books. Even just in this horror show, he was pulling out the first Bernie Wrightson, the first Bronze Age horror in DC title, classic Bernie Wrightson and Neil Adams covers. He did not have House of Secrets 92, which I was hoping he was going to, but that would have been really cool. But he was pulling out really big books, and then he was also showing off some of the other books that he had, like Amazing Spider-Man 50 and some really early, like sub-20 Spider-Man books. He had really early, like sub-20 X-Men books. He had a Hulk 180, 181, 182. A Silver Surfer 1. All the big keys in the Silver and Bronze Age, basically he had. And after kind of reviewing all these books that he had and kind of using a little bit of like finding some clues here and there and listening to his story, it sounds like the original owner of this collection, was the original owner buying books off the shelf at the newsstand, at the comic book shop, wherever he was buying them, back in the late 60s and early 70s. All these books, I think were original owner. And after looking at the condition of the books, it's kind of sad and kind of tragic, because their books themselves, a lot of them, some of the more 70s books, like the Bronze Age stuff, were extremely high grade books, but they were sitting so long that they had some moisture damage towards the bottom of the book, which is very common for sitting, possibly, got some water seeped through into these boxes. Maybe they're sitting on the floor. And then a lot of these books also had insect and rodent damage, a lot of chew marks from silverfish and mice. So it was really sad to see these really incredible books that were super high grade, but then they had the moisture and rodent damage, because the books themselves looked like they were basically untouched, unread, but they just sat in this basement for so long. So what an incredible story. I don't know what's going on with the books that were left in the home. Because like I said, he was only given 3 days to pull out these books. I think there were probably tens of thousands of books left behind, and this house is set to be demolished. Man, I wish I lived in South Texas, and I would go over there and I would beg the owner to, to let us take the books out, and I would call the news and people to come and petition for this house to be saved. I mean, it's so sad and tragic knowing what could be left behind. I mean, there were golden age books in this collection as well. I believe he had some pre-code horror, some EC stuff in this collection as well. I mean, who knows? I mean, was there an Action Comics #1 in there? Was there a Detective 27 in there? Nobody knows. I mean, possibly because he was saying that there were stacks. There were stacks of books, and he was pulling off the top of the stacks and bringing them into his car. But he said that the bottoms of the stacks were damaged, from moisture and insects and rodents and things like that. So he was leaving like the damaged books behind because he's not a comic book collector. He has no idea what he's looking at. He's just grabbing stuff that looked like it was in better condition. But imagine what's at the bottom of that stack. Was there, a Batman #1? Was there an Amazing Fantasy 15? I mean, who knows? This is such just a story of tragedy and a little bit of hope and excitement, because, a lot of these books were recovered. They were saved from this house that was about to be torn down to rubble. So that is the story. Those are all the details that I know. I will be following this seller over on Whatnot. I'll leave the link for him down below in the description if you want to follow along as well. So what an incredible story. Really, really amazing collection that was recovered. And of course, the tragedy of who knows what's going to happen to those books that were left behind. So now let's get into everything that I purchased from this comic book collection. There's some really incredible books I picked up. Like I mentioned, it was a horror show, so I picked up all this Bronze Age as well as Silver Age, some early like 10-cent and 12-cent horror books. Really, really cool. Some great titles, some great covers, and one really big key at the end. So let's get into the haul. So now let's get to the comic book haul of everything that I purchased from this collection. They are all Bronze and Silver Age horror books. First one here is Sinister House of Secret Love, issue #1. This is a really cool book. Unfortunately, it does have a lot of some chew here, which is probably from either like a rodent or silverfish. They will do that to the books over time. The interior of the book looks good, but there is all of this chew down here at the bottom and up at the top, a little bit at the corner here. So that is really unfortunate. But these are really cool books, and I was happy to pick this one up. This I actually bought as a lot. Here is another one that was in that lot, Sinister House of Secret Love, issue #2. Another really cool book. This little run here is really, really cool, and I don't come across these very often, so I was happy to find these. This one as well has chew at the bottom and at the top. So they're not the highest of grades, but they are really, really cool. They did not have issue #3, but there was issue #4. Beautiful cover. I love the artwork on this one. Really cool, like white background with the almost like pink colored tray dress. And you have the woman with the blonde hair and the white dress and all these serpents and creatures all around them. Really, really incredible cover. They also had issue #5. Another amazing cover. Here you have the bride. Really, really cool book here. Awesome cover. Really great artwork. I love the skeleton hand and the eyes glowing in the background. I apologize for the glare. I put these all in Mylars. I also ended up getting Dark Mansion issue #8. This one here also isn't the highest of grades. Has a little bit of some staining here. I'm not sure what that is. It's red. Hopefully that's not blood. And then some chew and some color breaks. So, nothing too crazy here, but a really cool title and a earlier issue in the run. Now let's get to House of Secrets. There were a lot of House of Secrets and House of Mystery books. starting with some early Silver Age stuff like this one here, issue number 67. Incredible, like, robot cover. Really, really cool book here. Happy to pick this one up. It does have a stamp, which I guess is maybe the owner's name. I'm not really sure. Or maybe the person that was selling the books. I don't really know, but it's somebody's name on there. Some of these books also are stamped with, where they purchased, I guess, like the newsstand where they were purchased originally, based out of South Texas. Here we have House of Secrets, issue number 68. Another really cool cover. Some of these early issues are not high grade, but as they get higher in the run, the grades get higher as well. So really, really great covers, awesome artwork, and more than happy to add some more early House of Secrets to my collection. This one is really cool with the giant purple cat cover. Issue number 69, really great cover. This one's fairly low grade, but still presents pretty well. Happy about that one. This one's actually in pretty nice shape. This is issue number 70. Pretty awesome cover. A lot of these early House of Secret books, or at least at this point in the run, started going towards more like superhero books. They're not quite horror anymore, or they're not horror yet, I should say. So, you know, featuring Eclipso, really cool stuff. Awesome, like, transformation cover. And this one's in decent grade. This one's extremely low grade, but this is like a minor key, issue number 73. As you see, it's pretty much a detached cover, but I picked it up because it's such a cool cover, and it is a little bit of a key. Also has the date stamp, or the name stamp on the trade dress there. Really, really cool book. Happy to add this one to the collection. And then, you know, like I mentioned, more of the superhero stuff here. House of Secrets 76, featuring Eclipso and Prince Rahman. Cool, the Mind Master. Decent looking book. Another stamp on the cover. Just really cool stuff here. Excited about these. Issue number 77. You know, there were a lot in this run. And, you know, I was getting them at great deals, so I had to pick up a lot of these. Really, really cool books here. Cool purple cover on that one. This one's in pretty nice shape. This is issue number 79. You know, also featuring Eclipso and Prince Rahman. Also issue number 80. Pretty awesome cover. Fairly low grade, but still a cool book. And now it's jumping up to the horror portion of House of Secrets. Here's issue number 97. Unfortunately, I did not see, or I don't believe he had, House of Secrets 92, the first appearance of Swamp Thing. I was hoping that was going to pop up when he was doing these books in the Whatnot show. But unfortunately, still got this one here, issue 97, which is an incredible cover. I really, really like this one a lot. And it's in very nice condition as well. Very cool. Little color break down low there. But what an awesome cover. Amazing book there. And here's a nice little book as well. Issue number 100. This is a nice milestone. It's, you know, a key. Really, really cool cover. And this one is actually fairly high grade. I mean, it's got a little tiny bit of chipping over by the price there. But this is a gorgeous looking book. Really excited about this one. House of Secrets 100. Now moving on to House of Mystery. Starting off with some 10-cent issues. Number 79 here. The Creature from Inner Space. Awesome cover. Really, really cool book. The guy driving his little boat. This creature coming out. What a cool 10-cent, you know, early House of Mystery book. Really cool. Another 10-center here with an amazing cover. The Pirate Brain. This is issue number 96. Amazing looking cover here. And, I mean, for its age, fairly nice grade. Nice condition on this one. Really, really cool book. One more 10-center. This is issue number 103. Kind of a crazy cover. Hail the Conquering Aliens. Repeat after me, class. King Zold is our leader. That is pretty funny. Really cool book. Happy about this one. Moving on to some 12-cent House of Mystery. Here's issue 121, The Beam That Transformed Men. Look at this, crazy looking cover. Love these House of Mystery books. I think they're amazing. Here's issue number 123. A little bit lower grade, but pretty awesome looking creature cover, some aliens. I don't know what's going on, but can't beat some of this Silver Age, House of Mysteries. Here we have the Manhunter from Mars. Really, really cool book here. This is actually in really nice shape. Issue 144. Beautiful looking copy. It's got a couple little issues, some minor defects here, but really, really nice presenting book there. Also, this has got an awesome cover. Issue 147. Some more Martian Manhunter, the Orchestra of Doom. Really, really cool cover. Love the how they colored the trade dress with the gradient and then the yellow and the orange. It's just a crazy looking cover. Very cool, 1960s stuff here. This has got an awesome cover as well. House of Mystery 149 with these killer bees on the cover and some other insects. Really awesome. Just a cool book, a little bit lower grade. This is a pretty nice looking copy. It's got some spine wear, but most of these present really well. Issue number 154 with this crazy purple demon. I don't know what's going on here. Really cool. Some more Martian Manhunter stuff. Just a great looking book. And then moving on to where they started featuring the Dial H for Hero. Here's issue 156. And this is actually a pretty decent key. I'll throw it up on the screen, but this one's got some good value. It's kind of a crazy cover, but happy to find this one. The next issue, I believe, is a little bit of a bigger key, but still, I did not get that one, but this is still a really, really cool book. Happy to find that one. Also picked up 157, or no, I'm sorry, maybe the previous issue from that one was the better key. I can't remember. I'll probably throw it up on the screen so you can see. But this is issue 157. Still a pretty nice looking book. Really cool stuff here. Happy to grab that one. Here's issue 158. So we got a nice little run going on. Dial H for Hero or Dial V for Villain. We also have that name stamped on the book there as well. Pretty nice looking copy there. Very cool. Next up, we have 163. This one's, decent grade. It's got a little chip at the corner. Besides that, looks fairly good. Not too bad there. A couple more of these Dial H for Hero books. Here's issue 164. Some Robbie Robot, Supernova, Zip Tide. Cool looking stuff here. These are more of superhero stuff, more than the horror that they would, eventually move into, which we'll see some very soon. This is issue 165. Really cool looking covers. Great vibrant colors. I like this cover a lot. This is a decent looking copy. 169. Really cool. The Terrible Toy Master. How awesome is that? Very cool book there. Another great cover and a pretty high grade book. It's got a couple spine ticks, but this looks really good. Issue number 170. What an awesome looking cover. I just think that is so cool. And last of the non-horror books here is issue 172. Another crazy looking cover. Very awesome. The H-Dial Monsters. How awesome with that octopus. Really, really cool book. Little color break at the top. Actually, a little tear at the top as well. But decent looking book. Now moving on to the last two books that I picked up. First, we have House of Mystery 176. What an amazing cover here. Beautiful, vibrant artwork. I absolutely love this stuff. And of course, this is getting into the horror part of House of Mystery. Really, really cool. I just love these covers, and they're fun reads, and I'm just absolutely ecstatic about these books. Issue 176, Very happy to have this one. And last but not least, which I think is the coolest and the best book that I picked up, this is House of Mystery 174 with this incredible, incredible cover. Love this. And fortunately for me, this book is absolutely stunning. There's a tiny little chip at the corner, but the spine looks really, really nice. I mean, there's a little bit of a tick here. I did not press or clean this book yet, but this is a really nice one. And this is a pretty decent key. This is basically where, you know, they introduced the horror genre into House of Mystery, moving away from the superhero stuff. And it's an iconic cover, and it's just an awesome book. And I'm really, really happy about having this one in my collection. So that is everything that I picked up from this Whatnot show that was part of this incredible comic collection that was found in the basement of a house that is set to be demolished. And what a story of just what an incredible story. You know, it's a little sad. It's a little tragic. Maybe the rest of this collection won't ever make it out of the house, and it's just going to be buried, which I just can't imagine. And, you know, hopefully, you know, things will happen and the books will be recovered. But you never know. I'm happy that a lot of these books were saved from this house. And just what an incredible story. So that's the video for today. I hope you really enjoyed checking out my haul and listening to this incredible story of an insane, amazing comic book collection found in a house that nobody really knew about until this contractor, you know, came across it, talked to the owner, and was able to recover, you know, a good majority of the books. So don't forget, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, and as always, folks, I'll see you on the next one.